Okay. I didn't get the fade working on that, so the music just cuts off. Alright, I think I got all the pieces in place and everything seems to be working. Looking good here. I got it on Twitch, I got it on YouTube. Okay, I am happy with that. What is up, Plastic Addicts? Welcome to the Jason Space Dock stream. I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna try this and see how it goes. And a couple things. I actually want to talk a little bit of news before we get started because of a recent irritation. Let me just come here, you. I don't know the extent of it, but I do know that I just saw something from IPMS Toronto that the number of Mr. Hobby products, including the Aqueous, may not be for sale in Canada again because they have too many assorted chemicals, and it's a bit of a bummer because this was a really good replacement for the Tamiya sprays. I had used another can of this, and it goes on. It's thinner, but it coats so very, very well. So yeah, if the that news is accurate, get your Mr. Hobby Aqueous while you can. It's alcohol based, so it's yeah. Anyway, keep it in mind. What is up, scale model Eric? You staying out of trouble? So, basically, this is the first part, and also, I don't know if you can hear that background noise. I'm cleaning a part I've been trying to print forever. Oh, come here, you. I talked about this last night on the test stream that I had Sophie Rose Models design a lighted or lightable engine nozzle for the Y-Wing. And all the details coming out well, but I'm having trouble with the supports in the raft. I'm not getting a clean bottom. I can sand it, but I don't want to sand so much that you lose height and detail. So I've been trying to get this sorted out. I think I might have it now. It's in the wash thing, so we'll see. Anyway, where I'm at with this is the first part of a project that may or may not work out. I'm going to be doing a number of Back to the Future DeLoreans, all the reissue ones, although I do have one of the previous old tooling from the late 80s that I might use for something. Anyway, I want to look at building starships as kind of bumming me out. Hello, Onyx, pardon me, Onyx Inferno, not Onyx Inferno. Onyx Fiero, excuse me. How's it going, my man? You guys were both here last night, so this is kind of a review or expansion on what we talked about, or I talked about. Doing starships is kind of, especially Trek, is kind of bumming me out. Because there's so many extra steps to light them, it hasn't been as fun. And I want to try other things, right? And I do love Back to the Future. So I kind of want to be able to tell a bit of a story through models and dioramas. And I'm going to start with the base car. Because this is a quick and easy build. Because this is going to be basically out of the box, no lighting. Some of the DeLoreans will be lit, the Time Machine ones will be lit, some won't. It's going to depend on what I use them for. But I want to be able to use a combination of practical models, photography, post-photography things, just to be able to tell a series of stories in a series of pictures. Am I capable? I don't know. We're gonna find out, but we're gonna start somewhere. And this seemed to be the good spot because it's. I really wanted to get my hands on this. It gives me a chance to understand the model before getting into the heavier Back to the Future stuff. The only thing that's not out of the box is going to be this. I am going to do flocking to add the carpet. Excuse me. Whenever I get on stream, I get yawny. We talked about this last night as well. Different colors. Steel was too dark. I feel like aluminum's too light. And I do believe it was Onyx who recommended the dark aluminum. I'm going to try to source that this week. If I do these weekly, I'm not getting to the body till next week. Anyway. Maybe longer. Depends how fast, how quickly these things go. Let me get these parts out, because as I said last night, I have pre-detailed pretty much everything. And I'll put this aside over here. So, quick breakdown. Tires, rims. I think I'm going to leave these in their plastic. It's reasonably close to the aluminum rims, but we'll do a wash too to bring out the detail. I really do love these rims. Sorry, Eric. The Aqueous Surfacer 1000 in a bottle. So I wasn't able to confirm what I'd said before. It's just Glenn had shared it from IPMS Toronto that they determined there's too many chemicals and they're not going to be importing any number of Mr. Hobby products. But I haven't been able to get a secondary confirmation. But if that's true, then just like when Testers was gone, when Tamiya disappeared, you got to find another alternative again. Anyway, decals, which I will put on. Exhaust, which I already painted. I guess I must have painted aluminum before. Chrome pieces. Interior pieces all painted, ready to go. There will be some hand painting to bring out the details. That I'm fine doing that on stream. Hand painting, but the airbrushing I wanted to get out of the way, off screen. Chassis, suspension and brake parts, engine cover, rear louvers, and of course, really all morning the not a peep from the water heater, and then as soon as I go online, here we are. So that's awesome. Anyway, hope you can all hear me over that loud hum. Onyx, are you in Canada or the US or elsewhere? So I can't recall. Bumpers, trim, fascia, mirrors, whatnot, and suspension parts. So I imagine, like most models, we're going to start chassis up, and I'm going to bring this up. Oh, hey, look at that! I'm live. Facebook, Glenn. I might be in the wrong spot. I'll try this. IPMS, Ottawa. Okay, so yeah, as far as the news I was talking about, so here's what Glenn posted, and I don't know if you can, how well you can see that. Maybe, yeah. We're getting information from distributors that some Mr. Hobby products have a higher concentration of a chemical that it is allowed by law. I think that should say is not allowed by law. Distributors will not ship any more product to stores. Whatever we have is all we'll be getting. The initial list: spray cans. Okay, a number of different spray cans. Most, if not all, aqueous paint bottles. HCD, HCR, series. Surfacer 1500 line. S5 spray can. T101, 102, 103, 104, 117 thinners. Regular thinner, no mention of T108 leveling thinner. As we get more information, we will pass it on. We have not been told there's a recall yet. So, oh, sorry, Onyx, my man. Hopefully things get better. Anyway, so here in Canada, there's a question mark about certain Mr. Hobby products. Some sprays, some bottles. Who knows? Because no one's actually saying any real information. It's just distributors aren't shipping it, but Health Canada hasn't come out and said, you know, etc., etc. Okay, let's look at the underside here. So I gotta remember how to read these. Color table. pH 51. Okay. Bear with me here. 8, 8, 51, 1. Okay, 1 is white. 8 is silver. Silver, silver. Silver, silver. But I don't know what 51 is. I don't know what that means. Oh, here we go. Light gull gray. I would probably just paint that silver. I'm actually not even going to detail the underside, these components right yet anyway, because this is not something that's going to be seen upside down, so I may or may not do that. Geno Models, hey man, thanks for joining us. Okay, so to to answer that question, Geno, I normally don't paint on the sprues. I've made an exception for streaming, so I can kind of speed up the process of this. So all the parts are basically prepped. Anywhere where I've got to remove a sprue piece and it's visible, I'll be able to do light touch-up. The DeLorean's an easy one because it's kind of black, gray, and silver. So it's not too rough to deal with. But normally I do not paint on the sprue because of the exact note you have on painted spots, or where paint kind of accumulates around a mounting point. The aqueous is the same formula as Tamiya's acrylics. Well, that's interesting. I can't help but want to look at it. I have very strong political beliefs and feelings. I generally don't let them spill out into here, but I will tell you what is irritating right now is in Canada we've had Tamiya sprays, can't use them, too many VOCs, and now there may be an issue with Mr. Hobby. So there's lots of people at Health Canada to protect hobbyists from themselves, but there's no one really working hard on trade deals or cost of living or housing crisis, hospital wait times. Take your pick. It's just a little irritating, is all. And that's all I'm going to say. So that's all we're going to talk about it right now. So don't comment, because we're going to go down a rabbit hole if we do. Okay, I got Eric on research by the looks of it. Sprays only. Okay, well, that's not so bad then. I mean, it sucks, because, like I said, these were fantastic, but whatever. I noticed Mr. Hobby Hanks do smell a little different from the others, but they brush on so well. The metallics are bottles. Right. Yeah, you know what? My go-to is, by and large, Model Air. And I will tell you why. Because I'm a lazy modeler. I don't want to mix my paints. I don't want to put the time in to mix paints. It's not where I want to put my effort. So, if you're a piece of shit modeler like me, then you get pre-mixed paints. I will say this, though. I'm actually... kind of people had swayed me from Vallejo. Oh, thanks, Eric. Whoops. A bit of projectile piece there. Had swayed me away from Vallejo. They says no good. I will tell you, I used Vallejo Air, Model Air, on the shuttle I did for the round 2 ad campaign that they hired me for. And I feel like soft focus. No, I guess it's okay. Sorry. And normally, before putting on decals, I put on a clear coat, as is recommended. Gloss clear coat, so you get a nice smooth surface, no silvering. But the Vallejo Air went on so smooth, I decided to chance it. I'm like, okay, knowing the consequences if it didn't work out. So I decaled the shuttle without doing clear coat over the Vallejo Model Air, and it was so smooth. I have nothing but good things to say about that paint. Well, I guess we're in good company, Eric. Okay, so we got our chassis, and we need to find a couple parts now, which are cross members. So what are we on? We want 13. And 7. So we'll get these guys rolling. Anyway, like I said, I don't usually for the most part, I don't have a huge interest in building cars. Just for the sake of building cars. But there are certain subjects I'm interested in, and in particular, movie pop culture cars. Look at Back to the Future, Ghostbusters. They fit in with sci-fi, which is kind of my main thing. But pop culture, the supernatural car, Christine, which I love that movie, Knight Rider, which is science fiction. Things like that I absolutely fit what I want to do. Okay, let's take a look at this instruction here. No direction, we got our little arrow pointing there. Oh no, I mean my Onyx. It is great. I'm just repeating myself now. It has worked out exceptionally well for me, and I am really happy with that product. Okay, so this has alignment pegs, but it's not snap fit. Noted. Noted. So I imagine this is where the shocks are going to mount on the rear. Anyway, one thing I want to do is with some cars, like I'm going to do the Christine and the Supernatural car. Those are going to be lit, because I also have diorama ideas for those. The DB5, that's the Bond car, right? The classic Bond car, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the thing, you can absolutely... Like, that'd be simple. Headlights, taillights, maybe the dashboard. That'd be really easy. Really easy to light. Like, one thing I was thinking about... like this, I'm not going to detail the engine. Because I have no plan... Like, everything's going to be open, but I have no plan for... Because that kind of detailing isn't what I'm about. But I do like this compartment here. Because in the future, not for the Back to the Future DeLoreans, but for if I ever do another one of these with lights, that's a perfect spot to put a coin battery with a coin battery holder that has its own switch. So you just pop the trunk and turn your headlights on. But this model is going to fit a very specific purpose, and that is it's just going to serve as a visual aid for this potential series of pictures I want to do to tell a Back to the Future story. So, you know, the underside isn't super important, the engine compartment isn't super important. What's important is that the car, when finished from the outside, looks good. But I will tell you, I have nothing but respect for car modelers who do all the details, add brake lines, hoses, wiring. It's incredible. There's one guy I follow on Facebook. Oh, I wish I could remember his name. He does NASCAR models. And they're so good. Like, he did an Earnhardt car. Like at the inspection stage with the wheels off and the engine out and on jack stands. It was so good. Sorry, let me get caught up there. Sorry, so you have yeah, Boyd did a video on the 66 Batmobile. Do you have one as well, or are you just a general comment on his build? And oh, give me a second here. You mean Onyx? You mean this one? This one that I have on my pile of things to do? Yeah. I am well aware of MPC's shortcomings, and I'm willing to accept the challenge. Okay, so we got this guy. Got to pay attention to alignment. You can just kind of see it here. Well, maybe you can't, but it shows these little half moons facing this way. I'm also surprised it's that direction. Okay. Let me just slide that guy through. And yeah, okay, yeah, there's a note that says note direction. It says it goes this way. With that up. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, that's solid. Solid does not the I-beam down. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. I can move this glass out of the way too. So we don't need that yet. We might get to that. Put you guys over here. Sorry, myself a bit of a messy workspace here. I am very much into the Batmobile. I mean, you saw the ones I brought to the last sci-fi meeting. I am very much into the Batmobiles. I do want to do the 66. That was based on what the Lincoln Futura. That is something. That is something. Okay. So here's where we're going to have to do some additional paint by hand. Because I just blasted everything black, including the rotors. So I think we're going to add a little bit of silver on there. Or steel, which looks silver anyway. Okay, so we don't need any of those parts. So it should be over here on the steering suspension sprue. Okay. Well, let's get this first. We want 5 and 6. Okay. Well, according to this, The 82 DeLorean had front and rear disc brakes. I wouldn't have expected that. Now, there's no guarantee this is correct, but... who was I talking to? PJC. About... Because I'd found... Because I'd found the Knight 2000. Or the Knight 4000. Whatever. The original issue. Not that it matters, just... This box art looks better than some of the other box arts. Anyway, he had done one, and I asked him if he did his own scanner, and he got it from... Excuse me. He got it from Evans Design, which I haven't really bought from, but I took a look at it. So, here's the thing. The lights, the LEDs aren't mounted on a bar already. You have to do that yourself. But it's a complete circuit. It is $17 US. That pricing is incredible. So I'm definitely going to pick up a couple. I do have one of the Aoshima Knight Riders that came with it, but only one out of like 4. Oh, you're just... Yeah, give me a second here. Okay, you built one too, then. I need to confirm that. Not often, sometimes I get a bunch of messaging at the same time and get confused. Okay, yeah, no, Phil Cornwall, PJC 2.0 on YouTube. He's done that, but I'm going to check out your... I'm going to check out your kit as well, because his was kind of just an overview. Did you go fairly deep, or just like a finished video of like, hey, here's my model. We want 9 and 8, or 8 and 9, okay? 8 and 9. Let's set that aside. You know what I need? I can go with the file just to bring that down. But anyway, so as you were saying, Onyx, and as I mentioned, PJC had also said the same thing. That kit from Evans, I definitely want to check out, because the price is right, and more importantly, it shows that yes, you can do these circuits, and they don't need to be $120. Because some of the electronics manufacturers out there, I mean, look, they're all garage kit guys, right? I get it, you need to make money, but some of the Tana Control stuff is ridiculous. Yeah, I picked up, I got this one, the Season 4, that has the scanner. But my Season, I think I got Season 1, Season 4, and Super Pursuit Mode. Because I also want to do a whole bunch of kit stuff, Ghostbuster stuff. Like, there's things I want to do with these, but I want to step it up rather than just do a straight build. Make it something special, if I can. All right. You know what? We're going to do... Oh, well, you know what? We're going to go ahead and put these on. We're going to go ahead and put these on and get some paint on them. Oh, I wish I'd kept track of these. That's what I get for talking while building. It should be like that. Oh, and that guy comes off too, as that is just an injector mark. This might take me a couple sessions to do. I expected this to go fairly quickly, but this is a bit more advanced than I was expecting. which is good. No complaints there. So yeah, this should be like so. We got that there, and the caliper on the back, and then, yep. There we go. Okay. So we got those two. Okay, I'm going to check that out this afternoon then. So I'm curious about these builds because it helps me get a jump on things. Looks like everything's starting to take a look here to make sure everything's still functioning where it's supposed to. And yeah, as we oh, there's one viewer. There's one viewer on Twitch. I'm still streaming there. My wife does video game streaming, Aaron_Mars. So she streams over there. It doesn't generally do any good, but I mean, for the effort to do a multi-stream is it's not significantly more difficult. So yeah, like, okay, we'll go ahead and do that and see if anyone picks up on it. But it's really the YouTube side to be able to really connect with y'all, because otherwise there's a little bit of distance. Excuse me. Like, I make videos and post them, and there's no real connection except, So I mean, I like the live. It's a good opportunity just to connect and stay in touch, and then, like I said, in the case of this conversation. This conversation with Onyx. Because I did browse. I've been a subscriber. I kind of browsed around your channel the other day. Oh shit! I didn't want that to happen. Well, shit. Well, one side's still good. Sure, we can work with that. I would imagine, like, my channel, there's a number of videos over a number of years. So you're like, well, where do I start? So yeah, if you're like, oh yeah, I've done this, it's on my channel, then I can actually kind of, do a more focused search. Okay, so that's a bummer. I think we're going to be okay, though. Because it's nice to be able to turn the wheels. Whatever, I'll figure that out. I'm not too worried about that. I'm just irritated it happened. Excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Like I said, any leg up before going into a build is great. Sorry, I just got my attention focused here so I don't mess up any more parts. Okay, we have a note 57. Scroll back here. Aircraft gray. Okay. That can be done on the model. If I choose to, but I also... Did I grab the wrong one? I did. I did. I actually want this guy. So this is supposed to be aircraft gray. Once again, I'm going to do kind of this in a little bit reverse. I'm going to get some assembly together and then decide if I'm going to detail, if or how much I'm going to detail the underside. Because once again, this is being built with certain intentionality. It's not like a show show model build. And that's an important distinction because a little bit of... I'm going to give it away a little bit. My next long-form video, I don't usually like doing Star Trek back-to-back. I try to mix up Star Trek, Star Wars, and then start getting other stuff into the mix. Just so it's not kind of the same thing all the time. But I had a refit commission that that was very problematic, and ultimately I wasn't able to finish it. And I'm going to talk about that. And what I'm going to talk about is where I failed, why I failed, and what I learned from it. And the biggest takeaway is that I was so worried about perfection that I think ultimately I may have sabotaged myself, so I didn't have to deliver it and it'd be potentially less than perfect. But that kind of opened my eyes to some other things, that accuracy is relative, and perfection is the enemy of progress. And also made me realize that over the years, some of the fun of this had been taken out because I was so focused on those things. So yeah, we're going to... moving forward, we're going to pay more attention to enjoying the build. And if it's not perfectly accurate, it doesn't matter. The most recent one, the first Pilot Enterprise, it was easy to get accurate because there's enough reference material, the size is great, and it's relatively low detail. So to make a representation of the studio model, yeah, easy. But like the refit, where there's so many different changes between movies and even color grading changes between shots, it's not fun. It's not fun, and I don't want to put the effort into this if it's not fun. If I'm so looking at... Oh, good. I'm glad that helped. So you're past this point, but I'm doing a basics, a primer, electronics basics presentation at the Ottawa Scale Model Contest at the end of the month, and it'll be recorded. So I'm looking forward to having that on my channel. Nope, that's the wrong one. As a reference for the future. A little heavy on the glue there. But yeah, because a lot of people, I consistently keep hearing it's scary, it's intimidating, I don't know where to start. And yeah, that's irritating, I get that. So we're going to do kind of a basics. Gino, you are bang on. I'm going to tell a little side quest story here that kind of informed how I do videos now. I was working in construction renovation, and I had a second here. I gotta get my bearings right. It's gonna be you. There we go. Sorry, fellas. Or fellas and ladies, although I don't think I have a huge following of women. There was a young woman working with me. She was 21. She'd already been to school twice. She was working on getting her Red Seal. Now, you don't have to have a Red Seal trade certificate in Ontario to be a carpenter. But she wanted that certification. Fine, great. And they put her with one of my other coworkers who was... We've all been there. The employee who was kind of crappy, but the management thinks is awesome. Anyway, they put her with him, and it was not a good experience. And when she... Let's see if we can get this one clipped on without breaking it. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Woohoo. Sorry. It was a bad experience. She was miserable. They eventually put her with me. And on the first day, I'm like, kind of working together, and like, you can see that she's nervous and whatnot. So by the end of the day, I'm like, look, here's the deal. I don't know what happened with Gary. Oh, I shouldn't say names. Anyway, look, he was a class 1 turd. He was mid at best, and I promise that he blamed a lot of his crappy workmanship on Emily. Anyway, I said to her, here's the deal. I see what's happening. We don't worry about mistakes. We fix mistakes if a mistake happens. But if you're constantly worried about mistakes, you're going to make mistakes. You're never going to accomplish anything, and it's going to be a bad experience for everyone. So that's kind of very much informs my approach to all of this, because, and this is my own feeling, that a lot of people on here are building from the wrong place. And what I mean by that is it comes from ego and a need for external validation. How many builders do you know who share their mistakes? Oh, this is the part I always hate. Now, of course, with that broken steering rod, certainly isn't helping. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. If I can get this to pop in there. There we go. We got that, we got that, we got... Oh, look at that. Oh, no. This flipped while I was... talking. Oh, no. So, speaking of mistakes, I've found that a lot of people don't show their mistakes, and that is detrimental to everyone. It is functionally gatekeeping. And what I mean by that may not be intentional. Like, it may not be intentional gatekeeping, but it functions as gatekeeping. Because for people who are just getting into this, to see everyone around them be perfect every time, every video. And I use this reference a lot. Don't know who's Simpsons fans, but Homer tried to make a backyard barbecue and immediately went to shit. Everything falls into the box. He's like trying to work quickly. Then the next shot, you see a perfectly built grill. He's like, what a beautiful grill. Then he lowers the box and you see his monstrosity. He's like, why doesn't mine look like that? That's why it's important that these things get shown. Anyway, like I said, I got a very particular philosophy about these builds now, and why it matters. Oh, that's such a bummer. Oh well. Here's the thing. This for my needs, this ultimately doesn't matter, because I can glue that broken one, and it just means the wheels are straight all the time. I can't turn them. Big deal. Because it doesn't matter for what I'm doing with this. Would it be nice if I didn't break the part? Yeah. Oh, hey, Sean. Haven't seen you in a while. Maybe because I haven't been streaming. Yeah, no, my man, that's just it. And I will tell you, we very quickly, me and Emily got a very good working relationship. Because it turns out, people thrive if you support them. And yeah, I said, for a mistake, who cares? Who cares? Like, oh, the boss has got a schedule. I'm like, who cares? Like, we gotta have this done in 3 days. I'm like, okay, I'll be done in 5. You can want it all you want. It doesn't change the reality of how long it takes to do things. So, things I have to do here. If I decide to detail the chassis, there's some grays and silvers I have to put on. But as you can see, this is already set up as the Back to the Future 2 one, like with the marker lights and whatnot. So, because of how I'm doing this, it's not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I might. Shit, I might not even do that, because you can't see the, you're not going to see the rotors once the rims are on, because it's not a big open wheel. Here there's some detailing on CV drive shafts. So here's what I'm going to do in this build. Because as I said, it's already, we're already 45 minutes in. I figured I'd only stream for an hour, but I might go for 2. But I don't want to take up everyone's, Sunday either. I'm going to go ahead and build this without doing any color changes, because most things are still accessible. Although it's not Snap like I thought it was going to be. Because it's not Bandai, it's Aoshima. Derp. So for those of us just joining us, this is part of a larger project of dioramas I'm hoping to do. Because this car only has to serve one purpose, and that is to mimic this photo as soon as I find it. Oh yeah. For those who are wondering, I was talking to Eric. Eric just sent me this. If you're in Canada, there's a question about Mr. Hobby stuff. It looks like it's the spray cans, not the bottles. These aqueous ones are fantastic. Sorry, little side quest there. I want to bring this up. As soon as I find it, again, I got a million photos on here. Here we go. So this photo is they just made it for the Back to the Future DeLorean Haynes manual. This is what I want to replicate. You can see the wheels, front wheels a little bit turned, but I mean, if I don't have turning wheels, it doesn't matter. The purpose of this particular one is to look good from the outside. If you open the door, you can see the inside needs to look good. The underside doesn't matter. Engine compartment, I'm not too worried about. So there's detailing I may not do on here, or I may still. I don't know yet. I'm going to see how I feel. Right now it's kind of about getting it together and seeing where everything is. So we've got that. We're going to need... we're going to need some more. So here's the reason I'm considering not doing some detailing. The brake rotors are a prime example in this. And that is that I don't know if there's much point. You have to make your models for you. And no one else, unless you're entering a contest. Then you have to make them for the judges. Which I'm also going to be a judge at the IPMS Ottawa Capcom. I was just supposed to do the Sci-Fi Modelers After Dark table with Eric, but then Glenn sent me some info about it. Just like, hey, if you know anyone, whatnot. But Tim had suggested I put my name in. So I'm going to try it and see how it goes. Luckily, Eric has been a huge help in these things we've been doing, and he's willing to man the table while I go off to do that, which could be, I don't know, an hour, a couple hours, most of that. I don't know. They haven't really told me what to expect. Anyway, the point is that build your models for yourself, unless you're going into a contest. But here's the thing, you can't really prep for a contest because you have an assortment of judges who you don't know what metrics they're judging on. So just make the best model you can in those cases. And don't get mad if you lose, because external validation should not be the driving factor in what you do. So it turns out the stream's just going to be a chance for me to pontificate on my feelings on a number of things. Hope that's what you guys signed up for. So yeah, here's the thing. So this is a good example. So you got the drive shaft. Drive shaft here. And this is telling me to do color 16. Or 2, pardon me. Color 2. Okay, black. And 12. Flat black. Okay, that makes sense. You know, shaft black, the boots. The CV boots, flat black. Once again, how much does it matter? I don't know. Having worked on cars, it's not that... The color tone may not be different enough to justify that effort, but if you take joy in doing it, then yes, do it. Do it because you want to do it. Well, that's just it, Eric. I'm wondering, should we see if there's anyone else who wants to man the table, or is there someone else you want to bring in to man the table? And I don't want to leave you alone, because I don't know, like I said, I don't know what to expect from this, because the first meeting they had was the night we were shooting new episodes of the Modelverse. So, anyway, we have time to figure it out. The other question, Eric, while I have you on here, do we need some... we don't even know what to bring to a club table. Do we need some documentation to hand out, or are we just going to be... or a sign that says what we are? I've never done this before. It's the whole thing. I'm like... What the hell do I know about running a club? I'm just keen to get people together to talk about the passion. And it kind of keeps... These secondary things keep getting added to it. Oh, I know you were joking. No, I know you were joking, but I don't want to... I can abandon you because you got to drive into the city. We got to pay for parking. Do we, even though we have a club table, do we have to pay admission to get into the museum to get to the thing? I don't know. Like, it's a little vague on details. But no, I don't want to leave you alone potentially all day if this thing's going to take all my time. But also, I mean, you're just as much a part of running this as I am, so... we're here. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up on things. I've always felt that the first person to make a mistake is the one who's... Yeah. Yeah, no, it's... Here's the thing with model making, especially showing it after, and I have an irritation. There's one modeler in particular, one sci-fi modeler in particular that kind of... Well, there's several that get under my skin. No, there's one who built a couple decent models like 10 years ago. But all they do is just post the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You know, and it's not even in a way that's constructive. It's just like, here's my Enterprise. Here's my Klingon ship. Here's my thing. And it's very much a, hey, look at me posting. That's not the point of the story. But he also talks about in-scale lighting. And as someone who's lit many a model, I have a lot of thoughts on that. But ultimately, it's not a fair assessment. If you show me a finished process picture and you say it's all in scale lighting, it's like, okay, well, yeah, it looks in scale in the picture, but you can manipulate photographs very easily to the point now where you can color grade and change exposure just by masking individual portions of the photo. So, is your model in scale lighting? Maybe, maybe not. In scale lighting refers to the lighting on the model appearing in scale with the model. So, the Enterprise shouldn't have marker lights that when they flick and they flash, they light up the whole model. If you're trying to give a sense of scale. But I rather think of in-scale lighting as how are you going to display your model? So if I build a runabout that is going to be displayed in a well-lit office, I need to overlight it. I need to put a lot of light in it so that when it's sitting on the shelf under overhead lights or whatnot, the model lighting is still apparent. But when you turn the lights off, it's going to look like a beacon in the middle of the night. So to judge people's ability to make scale model lighting is massively subjective. Okay, just a sign. Yeah, we could do that. I might get something printed up. We should really get a better logo than the AI one I had generated when we started, because I don't have any graphic design stuff. The rest of the people ask questions or where the meetings are. Okay, and oh, nice! You're bilingual. Eric, I cannot grasp another language. I have tried so many times, and it does not compute in my head. Okay, we got this. I think I might have these guys reversed, actually. Because, come on, it is supposed to be... Oops. Sorry, give me a second here. Just trying to get these... So you get this alignment figured out. There we go. Yep. We want that facing that way. Yes, okay. And that just slides in like so. Oh, this is so nicely designed. With all these little slots and locks and whatnot. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I have tried to learn French so many times, and it does not... Whatever connective tissue to make it make sense, I haven't found. So that's a little disappointing, but, that is what it is, right? So, you are going to go... Oh my god, look at this. Here's what I like. I don't know if you can see this. It's not a round pin, it's an oval pin. So it can only go in one of two ways. And we know from the drawing that this slot has to go up. Oh my god, this is so good. This is the other reason I'm kind of losing interest in Star Trek models, because with few exceptions, mostly new tooling, things don't fit. And that's it's just extra work you shouldn't need to do, but once again, things that take joy out of the hobby can be cumulative over time. If you're like, I want to build that Enterprise, but every other Enterprise has been a massive piece of shit. Okay. So we got those. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue in here. To hold that. Seriously, guys, I already cannot help but recommend this kit. This is brilliant. Okay. And then we have the shocks, then we can put the rear suspension in. So Arduino, I don't have. Well, the truth, I have no experience with. I'm kind of gearing up for that. What's a PWM controller, my man? All right, let's. Those should be good. A little bit of glue in here. But I agree, like, so just SMDs are great. They're they're intense, but not super intense. Okay. Sorry, just taking a look at the drawing here. See which way this goes. So it should be. Oh, look at that. And everything. Oh my god, everything's perfect. This is beveled to match the side it goes into. That's. Oh my god, guys, that's so wonderful. This is so wonderful. You don't get this in North America. I mean, I haven't built any North American car kits in years, but I can tell you from model starships, they don't do this in North American kits. Wow. Okay. And then those go to, when this is in, this is going to go like this. This should go to there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, if any of you were thinking of this, 100% would recommend. 100%. Oh, and there's little matching spots for the CV axles. A lot of parts to get aligned properly when you're doing this, but got that the right way? Yes, I do. Oh my god, look at this. This is... Oh my god, guys. It's just such a dream to work on. Oh my god, can you imagine if Bandai or Aoshima had the Trek kit license? That would be incredible. And, yeah, Onyx, I would feel like if I did cars, I would definitely be focusing on Aoshima versus North American manufacturers or Revell. So I have one. I have the NX01. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. Excuse me. For like $90. I scooped it up. I just built it right out of the box. The detailing is great, but I feel like this is before Bandai really got their fit figured out, because there's some poor fits, some gaps. The lighting kind of sucks, but it was also, 2004. So, okay, so, Gino models on my channel, it's like 6 videos back, like long form videos back. I did the Bandai NXO one. So you can get a sense of how they all go together. They're still out there, but people are asking, $400, $500, $600, $800 for them. And I said, once again, the detailing was fantastic. It was just more a question of fit. And, once again, the lighting wasn't great, but given the era, it is what it is. Okay. Gino actually helped me back up a point I made with Onyx earlier. We were talking about the Knight Riders, and he's like, oh yeah, I built that, and there's a full detail. I'm like, great, I'm going to go check that out. And this is the benefit of these streams, is being able to connect to, you make a comment like, I'd like to see this, or I'd like to see that, or whatnot, and then someone can be like, yeah, it's on my channel, here you can go find it. Boom. You don't have to spend hours dicking around in YouTube search trying to find something. Anyway, this is fantastic. This is so good. You know what? We're going to go ahead and put the wheels on. I'm not going to worry about rotors because they're completely invisible. I do like this part. I don't know how you guys feel about model car builds, but I love putting wheels and rims together. Oh, look at these. They don't they don't have a line down the middle you need to sand off. It's this. This is the difference. This is the difference quality makes. Or at least effort. And here's the thing. Okay. I understand model companies have to make money, because if they don't, then there's no more models. But why is it Japanese kits can do this for the same price point or lower than North American kits? Like, at some point, the argument that, well, they've got to make choices to make money, it's like, at some point, it doesn't hold water anymore. Like the Star Wars kits, for example. I had someone say, oh, I like the Bandai, but they're so expensive. I'm like, the A-Wing the Bandai A-Wing was cheaper than the 40-year-old Luke Skywalker X-Wing. You can't even use price point as a guide because Bandai kits are the same or cheaper. So what is it? I will tell you right now, my man. New tooling. You want new tooling, not old tooling. Old tooling kind of sucks. But once again, that was 1989. This is built off of this, or vice versa. I'm not sure which order they went in, but this Back to the Future 2 DeLorean is this Aoshima DeLorean. And, oh, look at that. They got a bunch of extra rims and whatnot. Yeah. So, these new Bandai reissues are... I haven't built one yet, obviously, because I'm building this first DeLorean. But I got Back to the Future 1, Back to the Future 2, and they're releasing 2 versions of the 3, I believe. The 50s and the train wheels rather than one set. Anyway, so, to answer your question, if it's the new tooling of the Back to the Future DeLorean, it's great. If it's the old skinny box, it's okay. Like, it's decent. It's a good representation, but it lacks detail. Yeah. So, the Bandai reissues, because they are complete retooling reissues, because they're actually using the same numbers. So these old ones basically are out of production. Sorry, I kind of lost the chat there. Speaking of the NX-01, saw the 350 at a hobby shop in Quebec. Okay, Eric, if my recommendation is, if you can afford it, pick it up, because there is no sign of the horizon of round 2 re-releasing that anytime soon. But the drawback with the 350 NX-01 is the pylons are shaped wrong. The nacelles are angled. And I have not found anyone who said how they've fixed it. I've dicked around, but I haven't come up with an answer. Oh my god, yes, the stance on North American kits. Terrible. Okay, yeah, Gino, you got the new one. It is going to be a dream to work on like this. I can tell you right now. Okay, and yeah, Onyx, the like round 2, it's by and large reissues. Now look, there's nothing wrong with that, but your price point for them is unacceptable. Yeah, that's a tough one, Eric, because I know people are charging more for them, but a little over 200 is a bit much. At the same time, which box is it? Is the Enterprise a kind of a red nebula background or a blue nebula background? Because from there we can figure out which. I mean, they're exactly the same, but the red nebula background is the original release, and the blue nebula background is the new one, or the newish one. It's still been several years. But yeah, that's part of the reason I don't love cars, especially. Okay, so that's an old issue. If it was like $120, I'd say without hesitation, absolutely grab it. But you said 200 plus. It's a lot for a kit that's not great, and I think G-Cals does Aztec decals for it, or you get paint masks, because at that scale it looks like shit if you don't detail it. Okay, what do we got here? So we got these guys, we got tires, we got rims, and this is the best part. They did it properly. Wider tires on the rear. The old issue has the same size tires front and back. But what you were saying, Onyx, about cars having the wrong stance, at one time I had to combine two kits to do a really good generally. The Revell 69 Charger and the MPC Dukes of Hazzard Charger, that was really just to get the rims and decals. But I had to manually, I had to cut the pegs off where the wheels mount, so I could, lower the rear and raise the front, so you get that proper stance on the model. And that's the thing with these Back to the Future DeLoreans, the stance matters. And I think they got it right on these, because the front wheels, if you watch the movie, the front wheels are way up. They're not in the wheel wells, but they're pretty close. Come on, you. There we go. Get these off. I need to get a new pair of snippers. I've kind of worn these ones out. Guess I could sharpen them if I knew how. Okay, so here's one thing we're going to do. So because I broke that, this DeLorean is not going to have wheels that turn. I want this locked down. There we go. So, it's only going to have straight wheels. That's okay, though. Because it's going to look great when we're done. Building vintage kits because they pose a challenge. Yes, they certainly do. It's interesting when other manufacturers when a manufacturer reissues another manufacturer's product. But that was the thing. The DeLoreans that were available in the late, 89, 90, 91, were these Aoshima ones. But I guess AMT had got the license to, the North American license to. So it was basically an Aoshima kit. Whoop, come here, you. In an AMT box. All right. I did get... Oh, that may have been a mistake. There we go. I lost that. Looking ahead to a Ghostbusters build, I did get from Etsy the files to print out the gurney and the proton packs in 1/24 scale to go on the to do that, because I like to do a doors open, or like back door open. Maybe like the Ghostbusters 2, the Ecto 1A, or no, I guess even the Ecto 1. From the beginning of Back to the Future. Holy shit! From the beginning of Ghostbusters 2, when they had to go to the kid's birthday party, and then they had their Ray and Winston loading up the packs at the back of the car. There's so many things you can do. Like I said, this is kind of my first test to see if this is something I'm going to continue doing or not. I hope I'm able to. The worst kits I found for wheel fitment is the MPC Pontiac Fiero. Being a fan of the car, I had to basically re-engineer the entire suspension. It was tooled in the 80s. So is that the one that's on store shelves right now? Oh my god. I love these. I love these with the little nylon fittings, so you just get the wheels on there. Did I just break that? Oh, good job, idiot. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright, time for a little repair. Luckily, my glue hadn't set yet. So, yay! Mistakes, am I right? Oh, that's why you seem flimsy. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, I need to do two things here. First thing, get this guy back in here. That goes in there. That goes in there. You go here. Get this all put together again. That was my fault. Let's see if we can get this all to go together again. It's a little bit harder with the wheels on, but not impossible. Well, so this thing goes. Don't worry about mistakes, just fix it. Whoop. Easy. Yeah, because those ones aren't that deep. Okay, so this wheel's a little wonky. Set those down so they're nice and flush. Okay, look at that. We have a oh, 3D printing. That's a whole other ball of wax. I'm not very good at it. Luckily, I've got a few people who help. One of the guys from our sci-fi model group is an excellent 3D printer. So he's been printing out the big ghost for me from Star Wars, but he helps me when I don't know how to support something. No, you're right, Eric. That's just it. I said, you don't have to trash it just because you made a mistake. Just most are fixable. Not all, unfortunately, but most are fixable. Okay, yeah, so the reissues the Revell. Oh, that makes sense, yeah, because of where it was, oh yeah, there you go. If you guys didn't see that in the chat, it looks like Onyx, you and Eric may have some subjects in common, or subject interest in common. All right, so I didn't do as much as I wanted today. I think I'm going to stop there. We're going to do this kind of a little bit at a time. We basically got the chassis done. Then I'll make the decision if I want to do some detailing. Move on to the interior, and that'll give me time to sort out the body. A lot of pieces on the body. So yeah, so next, this went well, so I think I may get back into doing this once a week, probably Sunday afternoons versus morning, just there's something I want to do it. I got something booked at 1 o'clock. Do this a little bit of time, because we're gonna flock the interior, so we're gonna need some drying time on that. So what I'm gonna do is I'll do the flocking first and show you that for those who haven't done it. Show you the process. For those who have done it, feel free to comment better techniques that you notice. So yeah, I'll do the flock the interior and then kind of work on the dashboard and the center console and all that stuff. And that'll be next week. Then on to the body. That'll give me time to sort out the paint for that, which I'll have done before. And then, yeah, so basically 3, maybe 4 for reasonably short. So you get, hour to 2 hours. Begin to kind of just pick at it, and we can chat as we go. I do like muscle cars. Like I said, I'm not really into building cars. I worked in automotive for years, so I got a love-hate relationship with cars. But yeah, so I think we're going to wrap this up there. I need to keep that because there's still some pieces on there. That and that. But I will say I am extremely impressed with this kit so far. Like I said, I expect to kind of blast through this in like one shot. Get these pieces together so nothing gets lost. But yeah, what do you, while we're here, we still got some time. I mean, I guess we have as much time as I decide to run the stream for. Embossing powder, I haven't. Mostly because I'm like, I don't know where to find the stuff I need. I had ordered flocking from Model Car Garage from the US before. I've got kind of brown, beige, and black, for the Knight Rider and the Supernatural car. And I would have ordered from there again, but 2 bags was like $10. Like if I got 2 bags of silver or brown, or silver or gray, it was like $10. Shipping was $20. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. So I found this out of BC. I can't remember the company name. So I was able to still shop Canadian. Anyway, so I'm kind of set up right now. I'm kind of set up for this rayon material. But I'm definitely willing to try other things. So the embossing powder is worth it. I think I might have looked at that on Amazon. This is one of the weird cases where there was stuff on Amazon like this or embossing powder, but the prices were ridiculous. So I'm like, no, I'm not going that route. I'm going to put this aside for a minute. Well, actually, I'm going to put this aside for a week, I guess. But my God, guys, I am endlessly impressed with this. I cannot, excuse me, say enough about it. I don't know why I get yawny when I go on stream. That's weird. I'll show you a couple other things I got on the go right now. Once again, this is a little bit of review for some. So this is just a basic build. There's nothing special about it. This is literally out of the box. No lighting. I've got the Aztec set for it. I don't want to say too much because it's first. Another thing I'm working on that may or may not work out. So I don't want to say too much until I get further along in the process. But I'm trying to find a different way to mount and display and just make it a little bit more interesting. Anyway, my gloss coats that I have in stock, we'll say in stock, kind of suck. So I've ordered, and this is something I would recommend to you. Although you car builders probably have some advice though too for clear coating and getting a good finish. Sorry, give me a second here. Amazon. You can get this at Michael's. I got to pick some up this week, but I ordered some just in case. This, come on. This Aleene's gloss coat is amazing. It's amazing. So I ordered 3 cans through Amazon. They're not going to be here for a week or two. So I'm going to pick up a can at the store when I'm in Kingston for a job on Tuesday, just so I can get this thing blasted with a good coat to get these decals on, because we want no silvering on this. But as I said, this is just going to be a basic build because I'm using it for a prototype. But I do have another one of these Discovery Enterprises, and I've got a Strange New Worlds Enterprises in my stash, so sacrificing one isn't that big of a deal. See, okay. Just regarding your comment there, Eric, I went on. So I didn't go to the store because there's not one near me. But when I went online for flocking kits, they're like, nah, we don't have anything. They're like, no, too bad. So, like I said, it's hard to justify making the trip to the store when they say there's nothing there. So what's the advantage of the embossing powder over the flocking powder or the rayon flaking? Don't worry, I know what you meant. So the benefits of one over the other. I'm just generally curious because it's not something that's kind of in my mainstream, as it were, of building. But this, give me a second here. That actually finished. So speaking of 3D printing, oh, right on, thanks, Eric. So what I have here, these little squares are my replacement that I designed this morning, actually, to replace the stand plug for the Y-wing. So you can use a 3mm brass rod to run wiring through for lighting. And these are the replacement engines that Sophie designed so I can light them. This is about my 4th test print. And the issue I've been having, for any of you who are into 3D printing or just starting out, is getting them supported properly. Because I kept getting, like, even when I'm looking at this now, it looks like I may have an issue down there. But getting the base flat, although these might be the best prints so far. Anyway, I'm going to test them out. Luckily, cost-wise, it's not expensive for, the little bit of resin used. If these failed, it's just the time. It's an hour per print, so that kind of sucks. But that's what I'm working on for this. So much like the A-Wing, I'll be developing a lighting kit specifically for the Y-Wing. So for beginners, here's a kit that has everything you need. Like, here's an example here. Is the pieces. Come here, you guys. So this is up on my Etsy store. So anyone who's like, hey, I've got a Bandai A-Wing and I want to light it, but I don't know where to start. This is literally the kit. Everything you need. Battery holder, switch, wiring, SMDs for the engines, a brass rod, and a replacement plug to put the brass rod into. I'm going to do the same with the Y-Wing. I'm going to kind of keep doing this for people who, in particular for people who have no no lighting knowledge, who are scared of it. It's like, hey, here's everything you need. It's nice and simple. It'll give you the basics to start. Yeah, exactly. The Tamiya spray cans are. Who knows if they'll ever come back in Canada? Because up to the manufacturer whether they want to change their formulation for Canada, or they may just decide the market's not big enough for that kind of reformulation. All right, well, I'm going to do this one with the flocking powder because I have it, but for the next one I will consider embossing powder, and we'll give that a try too. So as far as model builds for my regular videos, I'm going to be starting this Y-Wing soon, now that I have as soon as I get the engine sorted out. but it probably won't be a video until November, since I'm going to do that refit, that non-finished refit video in October. It's kind of a good follow-up to the original Enterprise one I just did. So there's that, and I've got this Enterprise D that will eventually get finished. I'm hoping to have this one done by the end of the month. Sorry, I had to get my head right close to the mic. This is for a client in Sudbury. I'm hoping to get it done by the end of the month so he can have it and I can get paid. And the timing's right, because it was end of September last year that I got him his... I delivered the Enterprise B to him. This has been a difficult kit because there's so much stuff to add to it, and the windows and it's almost as challenging as the refit. And will I ever build one for myself? I don't know. Okay, there we go. Eric has the answer. They're working on it. See, he's a good guy to have around. But alright, I think that's going to do it for me, because I'm going to get cleaned up and get ready. I'm actually watching I got a thing on Instagram to watch this afternoon, because that's really stymied me. Up until a year ago, it was cruising along, and then it just stopped. I have literally been stuck at 7,400 survivors. 7,400 subs for more than a year. Every time I gain some, I lose the exact same amount, and I don't know what's going on. I have no way to diagnose it, so gonna see what some professionals have to say about that. So, yeah, stay in touch, y'all. You can find me on all the socials, reach out through here, see the various videos and stuff I'm doing. And, yeah, we're gonna come back to the DeLorean. Yeah, let's say next... no, I can't do next Sunday. I'm at the air show. I'm helping build the air show in Gatineau. So not next Sunday, probably the following Sunday. So no stream next week. But I'll post when these things are coming up. Thank you for coming out, y'all. It's good to stay connected. And... you know, much like the Sci-Fi Model Club was designed to just be able to share a common interest, this is in many ways the same thing. So thank you for your time, y'all. I know that you know, giving up a couple hours on a Sunday when you might only have 2 days off is a lot. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for giving me your time. And having said that, I'm going to play some music ending the stream. My friend Julian makes music. He's a musician, so he's also made music for my stuff. So I have custom music. These two songs, the starting and ending, I use in my videos anyway. Anyway, if you like it, I'll post links to his SoundCloud and whatnot, and you can check it. It's a lot of synthwave, which I'm finding I'm into. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming out and engaging, and we'll talk to you next time. Eric, I will likely be in more contact with you than anyone, because yeah, we'll figure out what we need for the club table at IPMS in October. Anyway. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. And once again, I cannot thank you enough for your time.